Iggy, truly beautiful song, Shades.
Thank you. That's really, really nice music.
Flows along.
David wrote for that.
Just glides, doesn't it? Beautiful stuff. Just one of the many tuneful tracks on the album. Another one that springs to mind instantaneously is Isolation.
Thanks very much.
Lovely stuff. Although...
That's my melody on Isolation, I'll have you know. Yes.
Although it's one of the more tuneful tracks, and it might sound a little bit more like Bowie and a little less like Iggy, it doesn't mean that we're not going to love it. But when you get down to the lyrics are still rock-steady Iggy Pop lyrics to Shades and things like Isolation. Would you say that was correct?
Yeah, I wrote them.
Yeah.
Isolation is actually, it's my melody as well. I mean, I suppose anybody you work with rubs off. I don't mind. I don't mind having been influenced by David, you know, as much as some people are influenced by me. I just wanted to write some stuff that people could hum.
Right.
To, you know,
that is beautiful.
I wanted to.
That's a tune that you'll memorize instantly.
Yeah, I worked around the house for a year or two, just working up my sense of melody. And I like melodies. Look, a good melody.
You're becoming more tranquil these days, aren't you? You're getting into things like painting. Tell us about your painting.
Well, I first took it up as a way of fighting back against the telly, because especially where I come from,
you hate the TV,
America,
don't you?
Well, it's dangerous. It's paralyzed people. In America, you meet a lot of people who really have nothing to say to each other.
Temporary brain death.
They have nothing to say to each other in conversation, nothing in common except last night's TV show. So that's what they talk about when they get together. Oh, did you see Bill Cosby last night? Blah, blah, blah. And I also find the ads with the voice, yes, there's a Ford in your future, and if you'll only buy this beautiful car, you can leap up on a billboard and turn into a wild animal and jump down and screw the hell out of a woman in a black velvet dress wearing lots of jewelry. You know, you can bleep out the bits. And I find them patronizing, and I find that if I watch it for a couple of hours, I find myself ashamed of myself that I did so. So to fight back, I went out and bought some white canvases, just blank canvas, and I reversed the process. Instead of sitting like a lump and letting myself be bombarded by all these words and images, and I put up these white canvases and spewed my images all over it, and it felt great at the end. Painting's a heck of a high. You feel good after you get one done, and you kind of leave it in a room, you go in the other room, and then 15 minutes later tiptoe back and see if it's still alive in there.
Brilliant.
It's just a really good, it's like giving birth. It's like giving birth. It's like being a mother. And it feels real good. I'd recommend it to anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You take it obviously seriously. You don't just do it for therapeutic reasons.
No, I take it.
You like the product at the end.
Yeah, I like the stuff I made a lot.
Yeah.
I'm real proud of them. Yeah, I like them.
Do you think that in the future you might offer some?
Yeah, I'd be happy to exhibit in the future. I've already put a few of them in the video for Cry for Love. Brilliant. I enjoy all kinds of work.
Great. Talking about other things as well, you're getting into acting, aren't you?
Yeah, I did. I've done a lot of auditioning. I'll tell you that. There was a point briefly after I left the road in 1983 when I wanted to gain a lot more focus in my ability to perform. I wanted to find a still point in the middle of life, sort of a ledge from which I could reach, and I put myself into an acting class, which was not easy. I was working with a lot of hungry, tough young New York actors. Performing and interacting in a small room, basically without my armor, if you will, without the PA, the album, the repertoire, you know, the backup band, and etc. And it was a really good experience. It was humbling at times, and frustrating because when you're used to working in a stage situation for a lot of people, and often the easy way out to express anything is to wave your arms grandly, and it's always the big gesture. Whereas in acting, I had to learn the small gesture. That was good, and I got exposed to a lot of good literature. And then I got myself a Screen Actors Guild card, and I hit the pavement like every other young guy in New York trying to get parts. And I didn't trade on my notoriety.
Yeah, do you think that holds you back, or maybe gives you something, or what?
It helped me to get a Screen Actors Guild card. It helped me to get an agent, and it helped me to get seen for some parts because some people were curious. Oh, Iggy Pop, what would that be like?
Yeah.
And my style in acting is somewhat extreme, as is my stage style. So there were a lot of things. I must have gone to 30, 40 auditions and nary a part. Didn't get a thing. I finally got a couple little parts, and I'm proud of that. And I'd like to.
Yeah, you've done some TV, haven't you?
I did a couple of films.
What have you done?
I have a very small part in Color of Money that's coming out with Paul Newman and Tom Cruise.
Brilliant.
And,
the follow-up to The Hustler.
Yeah. And that was I was very proud to get a part from Mr. Scorsese. I was real proud of that.
One of the best directors around at the moment.
It's a tiny. It's a very small appearance, but I did my best, and I'd like to do some more.
What about Miami Vice? Have you?
I did something for them, and they didn't use it.
The Rotters.
They had been anxious to get me on the show, and I had a limited time in my schedule because of working on the album, and. So they wrote me in to something, and the part was really ridiculous.
Did you play a rock star or
no, I played
a drug dealer or something?
I played the owner of a bondage and domination bar who sold sex aids.
Was this a part you found easy to get into, or?
I thought it was a ridiculous part, but I was, and I thought, what the hell, I'll do it. I played it for broad comedy, and that show is ever so serious, and they didn't feel it fit in the end, and they cut it. But I'll tell you, I did a good job.
Knockout. I'd like to get hold of a video cassette of that.
I'd like to see that myself.
Tell us about your involvement with the Sid and Nancy movie. Again, it was just a very small walk-on for that. The reason I did so was that the part called for it called for a portrayal of a kind of an effete, poncy European upper middle class art dealer who's come to New York to attend all the right cocktail parties. Right.
And I wanted to see if I could be convincing in that sort of a portrayal. And apparently I was, because my friends who've seen the movie say we saw it and we didn't see you because they couldn't recognize me.
I haven't noticed it, to be honest with you.
Which was the idea. I was only on camera probably. I haven't seen it yet, but maybe 40 seconds. It's a very short part.
There's a character in the Sid and Nancy movie called Rockhead, who the Sex Pistols hang out with for a little while.
I've read the script.
And he's like the big star in the limo and everything. But I heard that was meant to be you.
I don't care if it was.
No,
I think people take these things with too much reverence, and a movie's a movie. If a guy wants to make a movie, let him make a movie, I say.
Okay, let's talk about your live gig coming up at the Brixton Academy on the 17th of December.
You got it.
I'll be there, me and my friends. I know you'll be there. Yeah. That's the reason I'll be there.
All right. I'm in town. Are you in town?
Are there going to be any surprises? Are you going to keep your trousers on? Is David Bowie going to leap up on stage and play keyboards? Will Steve Jones be playing with you? Do you have a regular band?
David Bowie and Steve Jones will both leap on stage and pull off my trousers.
Great.
No.
We've just sold the rest of the tickets.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I got a band. Kevin's leads the band. The rest of the guys are Kevin's mates, and I like playing with them a lot. And we're working real hard every day these days on the songs, and That's all I can tell you.
Yeah, I know. You've got some secrets up your sleeve.
That's all I can tell you.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks very much, Iggy Pop.
Well, thank you.
Long may you rock and roll. And we'll go out with one of the winners from your album. The album's full of winners. This one's called Winners and Losers.